Hi, everybody. I'm Christy Forsyth with Clarity by Christy. This is your weekly reading where we talk all about what's happening here with the collective energy, the energy that is impacting each and every one of us, the energy that each and every one of us are probably feeling on some level, and we help you to make sense of it. We help you to understand it, and we help you to know exactly how to navigate it so that you can make the most of this energy that we have going on this week. So let's start with letting me know what you guys are feeling. What's going on? How is that showing up for you? Are you experiencing some of this intensity that I was talking about last week that I'm finding a lot of people experience during Cancer season? The feeling really emotional, feeling overwhelmed sometimes. I'm finding that some people are feeling that here in this energy. So let me know if that's you. And maybe you've been feeling, somebody said to me, and I think this is a perfect way to put it. She said, I just want people to take care of me, or I want some things done for me. And I feel like with Cancer energy, it is a nurturing energy. And sometimes the person who said that to me is very much a nurturer. And I think sometimes, especially when we're feeling more emotional and especially during Cancer season, we can also want that in return, right? The nurturer wants to be nurtured in return. We want it. We're seeking out that energy. And I think we can ask for that. I think we can encourage the people in our world to provide us with that. And hopefully we've found connections, relationships in our life where there is that reciprocity. But I also think that our power is in providing that for ourselves as well, in addition to allowing other people help us and allowing other people to support us, because we definitely want to be doing that in this energy. So giving that time and that attention to taking really good care of ourselves, giving ourselves what we need, asking ourselves what we need. That is an important question for you to be asking yourself, especially during Cancer season, when this energy is all about nurturing. So if you find yourself feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling like it's hard to get to that place of calm, or you really want to commit to taking better care of yourself, I do want to recommend that and remind you that in my membership, we are doing a 30-day challenge to regulate your nervous system. And essentially what it is a tool or an idea or a concept every day for you to apply. So I'm asking every single day that you do the challenge that you do something for yourself. So it is self-love, it is self-nurturing. And today I'm posting this on Tuesday, what is the date? The 8th, on Tuesday the 8th. Today is the last day for my freedom sale. So I have a sale to join my membership for $79 for the entire year, which is essentially less than a fancy cup of coffee once a month. And that is only going on until midnight tonight. So you're going to use all caps. I put it down below as well, freedom, as you go to check out for the yearly membership. And that will get you in, and that will get you locked in at that rate for every year that you remain in the membership. So $79 a year. This is like the lowest that I've had it. So take advantage of that if you want to join. Otherwise, it's only $99 for the whole year anyway, or $9.99 a month. So all of that is below if you feel called to join us. We have a lot that's going on there, a lot that's coming up in the membership. And I created to be a tool to support you guys as you're navigating all of this energy. So I'd love to have you join in there and to be able to see all the things that we're sharing. I also do a monthly reading in there that covers all of this stuff so that you get a heads up on all of it. Hi, Lynette. Nice to see you here. So when I connected with this energy for this week, I got this image. Maybe some of you have read this book. It's called Ask and It Is Given. And in that book, he talks about, he shares a story, and I'm going to try not to butcher the story. I don't know if I remember the details very well, but it's always stood out to me, this story of a man who was insistent on mining for, I think it was gold. It might have been diamonds, but it was gold or diamonds, mining for diamonds or gold. And he had this vision. He had this sense that the gold was there, that he was going to strike gold, and he was mining for it. And he just kept working on it and kept working on it, and eventually got to a place where he lost faith. He gave up hope that he was actually going to find the gold or the diamonds. And so he gave up. And somebody stepped in his absence and started to take over that. And not long after that, broke into the gold. And it's meant to be a story to encourage you to keep going when your intuition is telling you to keep going. And the reason that I'm talking about this today is that I felt really called to share that story. I had that image that I had in my mind when I was picturing that story before. And I have this sense with the energy that so many of us are like right there on the brink. Like you're so close to striking gold. And it's just on the other side. But I think a lot of people are fed up. I think a lot of people are frustrated. And I think a lot of people are ready to walk away. Now, I don't want you to stick around for something that you know isn't going to serve you. I don't want you to stick around for anything that no longer aligns for you. That's not what I'm talking about. But I am talking about sticking around for something that you know to the depths of your soul, intuitively, that this is what you're meant to do. And so if you know that, and this is where you are, hold the vision. Keep moving in that direction because it's going to be really key for you. So when I was connecting with that, I got the sense like, not only are you, first of all, you're doing better than you think you are. And I think that I need to acknowledge that for all of you, and that we need to acknowledge that for ourselves. Where are you doing better than you think you are? Where are you not giving yourself enough credit for the progress that you've made, for how far you've come, for the work that you've put in, for the investments that you've put in, for all of the energy that you've put into something, yourself, a relationship, whatever that is? Can you give yourself credit where credit is due? But also, you're doing better than you think you are, meaning that there are blessings, there are rewards, there is growth, there is a breakthrough that you're on the brink of. And you're about to get that validation that you're doing better than you think you are. Okay, now this isn't about not letting go of something that we know that we need to let go of. And I do feel like I need to clarify that because we have a full moon this week. We have a full moon on the 10th. So in 2 days, so Thursday. And the full moon is also about being willing to let go. So we're going to talk about that as well. But this is for the stuff that you know to the depths of your soul you're meant to be doing. And even if that bullshit in your head tries to tell you that you're not, there's a part of you that knows. And there's a part of you that's just like resonating. And it's like, okay, you just needed that little bit more hope that hopefully this is giving to you to keep going, to keep moving forward. And the other message that I got is really similar to what I was talking about, like that you're closer than you think you are. You're not as stuck as you think you are. And so that's the message that I get. We are on the brink of some powerful breakthroughs. I think some of us are already seeing them. I've noticed like this past month, just a lot of things, a lot of evidence, a lot of things moving forward, a lot of things happening that it's like, wow, okay, like this is really happening. Things are actually moving forward. And I think that a lot of us are getting that. But if you haven't had that, I think around this full moon and in this week, we can expect that there will be some significant breakthroughs in some way. Some evidence that things are going in the right direction, some evidence that you're closer than you think you are, some evidence that you should continue to move in the direction that you're moving. So I want you to pay attention. And I want you to recognize where the breakthroughs are. And by the way, not every breakthrough feels like a breakthrough in that moment. So are some things happening for you and you're like, well, this sucks. This isn't what I expected. This isn't the direction that I wanted it to go. Rather than going with the flow and seeing where whatever this thing is taking you. So let yourself flow, but also be mindful that important breakthroughs are happening right now. And to keep moving with that. So as I said, we have a full moon on the 10th. And I think this energy can get a little touchy. We're already in it a little bit. So again, especially combining that with the emotionality that we see with Cancer season, you might feel more emotional. You might feel like more likely to cry. You might feel a little bit more angsty or angry or easily triggered, that kind of stuff. So keep that in mind. But I think there's a real blessing around this full moon. And my sense with this full moon is that we're going to be reflecting on some things that maybe we thought we wanted at one time in our life. And just reevaluating that. Like, do I still want that? And do I still want that in the same way? And do I want to make some adjustments to that? I think like that's part of what this full moon is shining a light on. Where do I need to make adjustments in regard to what I want to be focusing on in regard to my goals? Like, am I even the same person? Especially if these are goals, things that you set at the beginning of the year, in the new year, coming back to that, do I even still want those things? And some of those things, yes. And some of those things, it'll probably be a no. And so you want to make adjustments with that, honoring who you are now, honoring what you want now, and the path that you're on, because we've had a lot change. We've had a lot shift since the beginning of the year. Give yourself credit for that. Recognize how far things have come. Give God credit for that as well, right? But letting go and being willing to let go around this full moon. Like, we don't have to hold on to it. Maybe you're holding on to something that you said that you wanted because you just thought it was who you are. But now you're like, if I'm real with myself, that's not who I am anymore. That's not the vision that I have for myself anymore. Or maybe even out of some kind of ego thing, like your ego wants it so badly because it would make your ego feel good for a moment. But if you're real with yourself, you recognize like that's not the real vision. That's not what I really want. And that wouldn't fulfill me truly if I were to even have that. So I think we're taking a look at that. And it's helping us to see where we're going next. It's helping us to understand that and to be really clear on that. I think also we're going to be taking a look at finding a work-life balance around this full moon. So like if you don't have much of a work-life balance, or it doesn't even have to be work-life, it can be like, how am I investing my energy? And am I investing my energy in the ways that I feel most aligns for me, right? You can go in really hard on something that you love and recognize, I'm giving too much energy to this. This is exhausting me, or this is too much. There isn't a balance here. And I think this full moon is calling us to the carpet saying, where's the balance? Where do you need more balance? What do you need to adjust in order to allow for some balance? And go from there. I have found that for myself. Like, I've just been going hard with work, and there is this part of me that's like, okay, like just be a little bit easier this week. Find a little bit more balance with that, because where's the time for fun? Where's the time for balance and just making sure that you're taking care of yourself? Because I have been just finding myself getting so caught up in that I'm not making the time for that. So that's an example for me. I also, when I connected with this, heard that your courage and your tenacity is going to pay off. So I think that's part of these breakthroughs that we're going to be seeing as well. Like some things that you've been courageous about, these things that you've been stubborn about, that you have held on to and held the vision. I think like this is where we're going to see that payoff. This is part of what those breakthroughs look like. But again, we also have to consider around this full moon, where am I settling, or where am I allowing things that don't align for me? Where am I fighting for things that don't matter anymore, that aren't really what I want, but it's what I thought I wanted for so long. And now I'm being shown to let go. So that's where your stubbornness will get to this week. And I know I'm built that way. So that stubbornness can get me sometimes. So just keep that in mind. Whatever you've been working on, whatever feels like the vision, the biggest message is to keep working on it, to keep going, to keep steps in that direction. Hi, Judy. It's nice to see you here. Keep going. And the other part of this is like authenticity, right? Letting you shine through. I just filmed a podcast earlier today, and I expected it to be a little bit more like business oriented, professional, that kind of stuff, right? So like I kind of put on my professional hat And when I went into it, all of a sudden we're talking about angels and auras and all of the fun stuff that I love to talk about. And I was very excited about that, but I wasn't expecting it. And I'm just even thinking about that now, that I just need to show up and be me and not worry about like what hat I'm wearing, and just be me and let whatever that authentic part of me wants to shine through in that environment that day, and just kind of honor that. And I think that that's a collective message, that we need to just be ourselves and honoring that and showing up. I think we're becoming more and more connected to that authenticity, and it's going to become more and more uncomfortable to not be that. So can we just kind of be us and let it ride and see how it goes? Yeah, Judy's saying Taurus trait is very stubborn. I'm a Taurus. You're a Taurus, right, Judy? Yeah, definitely a Taurus trait for sure. We can dig our heels in sometimes, but I always say that stubbornness becomes tenacity when something really matters to you. Just make sure that you're not fighting for the things that don't matter. And that's in part what I'm trying to say. So let you shine through, let the real you shine through, and maybe look for opportunities to do that this week, because that is only going to support these breakthroughs and this movement in the energy, and you getting even closer to the things that really matter to you and the things that you want. Let's pull some cards and see what the cards come up with. How I do my cards, I have already pre-shuffled. I have already put them in order, and I'm just going to pull them. I will read them, and then we will cover the messages with those after I pull all of them. So the first card, if there was not a breakthrough card, wow, Ace of Swords. This is absolutely my breakthrough card. Right out the gate. Here we go. Okay. Two of Wands in reverse. Five of Cups in reverse. Two of Cups upright. This card has been creeping on our readings. That and the Lovers. A lot of connections, deepening connections that are happening right now. That might be part of the breakthroughs. Temperance. That's the balance. And the Eight of Cups. Look at that with that moon up there. That's technically an eclipse. What needs to be eclipsed out of your life? Because we certainly don't want to leave space for everything, especially things that don't align. All right, let's get started. So Ace of Swords, like I said, if I ever saw a breakthrough card, the Ace of Swords is it. This is a beautiful breakthrough moment that will feel like a gift from God. It might be an aha moment. It might be a conversation. It might be an opportunity, a moment of clarity, a deeper understanding, something here coming in that is just a breakthrough. Finally feeling like you're not moving through stuck mud, which is interesting because we have Mercury retrograde coming in this month. If you're in my membership, you already know that. You get that heads up with all of the stuff that I highlight. We have that coming up, but I don't know. This one feels a little different. I think we're going to still feel this momentum that's happening. We definitely have a momentum that's going on, but keep in mind that you want to take advantage of this energy, this breakthrough energy, while you have it. You don't want to put it off. You don't want to procrastinate. If you know something, know it and take action on it right now. That's important because Two of Wands, we want to be making sure that we're taking action. Do not stand still. Don't keep yourself stuck, especially when you know better now, right? Once you have the breakthrough and you know better, you see things clearly, you understand, wow, things are really happening for me. Don't just stand still. Don't put it off. Don't get lost in something that is a distraction. Do something about it. This is very much calling for us to do something about it. And by the way, with the Two of Wands showing up in reverse, it's probably going to scare the fuck out of you on some level. Maybe you have to put yourself out there in some way. Maybe you have to have a conversation that's hard. You have to take a leap of faith. I don't know. This is some kind of change that's scary because it's out of the norm. It's not what we are used to. It's out of our comfort zone, or I always like to replace that with our what we're used to zone, because it's not really that comfortable. It's kind of boring and dull, and not really helping us with our progress and growth, and certainly isn't bringing us where we want to be, you have to be willing to step out. This is a story of somebody who has to be willing to leave the walls of the castle and explore the world, to explore a path that he's never been on, in order to level up, in order to experience the things that he's meant to experience. So Judy said, could it be with cheating? Judy, tell me what you mean. Like, I'm not sure what the comment was in reference to, so just help me understand, and I will try to answer, because I was in a flow, so I don't even know what I said. So forgive me. If we're talking about a situation where someone has cheated, and now you're looking at that saying, I need to should I go or should I stay? I would go. Like, this is about, nope, that doesn't align for me. This person has now shown me who they are, and now I need to leave the confines of my what I'm used to zone and get out there and create new experiences for myself. We have the 8 of Cups coming up. So some people are going to be walking away from relationships. Some people are going to be like, I've had enough. I'm walking away. Okay, trying to figure out if he has. Yeah, like this is what you do, Judy. This is what, when you want to know if somebody's cheating or if somebody is right for you, is not right for you, you ask God, universe, whatever you want to call that. You just say, show me what I need to see. Show me what I need to see. And I promise you, you're going to be shown. It might not be in that instant that you ask for it, but you will be shown over the next several days. This full moon is going to bring that stuff to light anyway, but invite it in, ask to be shown, pay attention, and see what comes, because I do this all the time, and I will always get the answer. It's not always the answer that I like, but I get the answer. So put that out there, watch for that, and see what comes. But when you get that moment of clarity, because you're going to have a breakthrough, you're going to have a moment of clarity, be willing to move. Be willing to make the changes that you need to make in order to get that. I feel like a lot of people are going to have this where it's just like, oh, I thought this was this, but it's this, and that doesn't work for me. That's not really what I want. This is different than I thought it was going to be. And so they walk away. But you know what? 5 of Cups in reverse. Don't let that fear of sadness, that fear of, okay, I'm going to have to grieve this. This is going to be hard, hold you back from moving forward, because that's not going to last forever. Of course, whenever we make a change, there's a time period where that is difficult, but don't be so afraid of the pain that you prevent yourself from moving forward and progressing in the ways that you need to be. Okay, so don't hold yourself back in that way. I also think with that 5 of Cups in reverse, there is a level of moving forward after some hardship. And maybe some people, that's the breakthrough where they just recognize, oh, this doesn't bother me in the same way that it once did. Or even being grateful for the way that something fell apart in the past. Or recognizing where we've created our own pain through the choices that we've made, and wanting to do better, wanting to show up better, wanting to take action that aligns with that. Because we do have this 2 of Cups. So for some, like, this is about love. This is about relationships. This is about coming together, right? An important breakthrough in relationships, an important understanding. Maybe it's like you have been not open to that, or have been guarded with that, and all of a sudden you're open to receiving that. This feels like a very receptive energy, being open to receive, being open to take something to the next level, or even just in acknowledging that something is aligned for you. The 2 of Cups is also about just that thing that we need. Right? So when we're talking about you're closer than you think you are, what if that one thing that you need, that one person that could change your life, that experience that could make everything different, everything better, could take you 12 levels up. What if that could come in now? What if that person that is just exactly what you need in your world as a beautiful balance for you could come into your experience? And I feel like there's opportunities for that, or could come into your experience or have already been in your experience and be ready to explore that on a new level. That's what I'm feeling here with this card. Because there's a lot of divine timing that's happening. Temperance card is about divine timing. It's about angels coming in and saying, okay, it's time. But they don't just come in and do that for us. Divine timing comes in because we've made choices. We've done the work on ourselves. We've taken action. We have been honest with ourselves. We've listened to our intuition, and we've moved accordingly. And when you move accordingly and you get yourself in a position where your energy is higher vibrational, you're feeling better, you're taking care of yourself, you are focusing on what you want to create, not what you don't want to create. Like you're doing all the high vibe things. It allows the circumstances to happen where things can develop. You get out of the way and you allow God to step in and the angels to step in and to provide you with something. So this just feels like blessings. And the Temperance card is also about finding balance. So we've already covered that. I think we need to be focusing on where do we find or bring some more balance into our lives, but also see the way that the angel is mixing those cups together. This is sometimes about alchemy. And I think for some that the breakthrough may be an understanding that we had to have certain experiences, because if we didn't have those experiences, then we would not know what we need to know. We would not be in the place that we are now. We wouldn't be in the place that we're about to be if we didn't have those experiences. And how do we take those experiences and turn them into something great? Whether we're helping other people with it, whether we're pulling from that strength, that tenacity, that courage, and we're using it in the moment to take us to the next level. Like I said, your courage and your tenacity is going to pay off this week. I feel it so strongly. Hi, Renee. Nice to see you here. Last card. 8 of Cups. But also a willingness to walk away from what doesn't quite fit anymore, what doesn't quite work, what is maybe okay, but it's not quite it. It's not that next level. It's not really, truly what you want. And it's that willingness to be honest with ourselves, because I feel like the 8 of Cups can be a tricky energy, because it's not always this energy of it being really in your face and it's just a situation that's really bad. A lot of times this is a situation where you're just like, this is okay, but is there something better? Can I aim higher? Can I take the dream to the next level? Is there another level here in this for me? And being willing to be honest with yourself about that, about what you really want. It's okay to want bigger things. It's okay to want to lean into God's vision for you, which is always going to be bigger than your vision for you. It's okay to follow the callings of your soul and your heart and all of that, and to be willing to walk away or leave behind those things that aren't quite there for you anymore. Maybe they were at one time, but they're not anymore, so that you can embrace what wants to be coming in, because there's a lot of blessings coming in. There's a lot of breakthroughs that are happening right now. There's a lot of understanding. And so what matters most to you? Who matters most to you? Who and what do you want in your life? And if you want it, I want you to give everything you have to make it happen. And if you don't, I want you to be honest with yourself, and I want you to be willing to walk away so that you can focus on the things that you truly want and the things that truly align for you. I hope that this makes sense. I hope that it resonates. Please let me know if it does. If you guys are watching still, please like this, comment, share it with somebody who needs to hear it. There are people who need to hear these messages. There are people who need hope right now, that need to know all is well and all is going to be okay. And they just have to keep going a little bit longer, but they have to be honest with themselves. So pass these on. It helps. It's an energy exchange. It helps to support the channel. If you're watching on my YouTube, please hit that subscribe button as well. And if you're not on my membership, make sure you jump in. I would love to see you jump in by tonight so you can get that sale. Or again, it's only $9.99 a month right now. That is going to be going up soon. I am adding a lot more value. I'm going to be doing more challenges on the other side of this challenge. So you want to lock in your rate with the founding members rate as well. So check that out. See if it aligns for you. I would love to have you. And I will see you guys soon with another video. Take care.